It's about time for a mock draft Friday, so let's get right to it. Now, this is the 5th mock draft of the year, so let's get it started. 5.0. Now, there are a lot of surprises in here, I'm not going to lie, but feel free to comment your opinions down below, and I'll look at them. I'll just look at them. I'll probably respond to a couple of them, but I may not be able to get to all of them. So let's get to it. Now we're going to start with the Cleveland Browns with the number 1 overall pick. And this pick stays the same throughout the entire mock draft process. Myles Garrett, defensive end of Texas A&M. At number 2, this is where it gets really interesting, though. This is probably when the real NFL draft starts. Because the 49ers can do a couple of different things. They could take Mitch Trubisky, or they could take somebody on defense. They can do one of those too. So this is where the real NFL draft starts, in my opinion. But in this mock draft 5.0, I have the 49ers taking Solomon Thomas, defensive end of Stanford. Number 3, I have the Chicago Bears taking Marshon Lattimore, cornerback out of Ohio State. Number 4, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars taking Leonard Fournette, running back out of LSU. Number 5, I have the Tennessee Titans. And this is the Rams pick, by the way. Or it was the Rams pick until last year. But I have the Tennessee Titans taking Jamal Adams, safety, out of LSU. At number 6, I have the New York Jets taking Mitch Trubisky, quarterback out of North Carolina. Now this is kind of where it gets a little bit interesting, because the Jets can do different things as well. In 4.0, I had him taking Mike Williams, because of the departure of Brandon Marshon to the Giants. But I just feel like the Jets will probably take a gamble on another quarterback. However, they just drafted Christian Hackenberg last year. Why aren't they giving him a chance? We're probably going to have the same question in a couple of picks. We'll see if you can figure out what that clue is. At number 7, I have the now Los Angeles Chargers taking Malik Hooker, safety out of Ohio State. Number 8, I have the Carolina Panthers taking Derek Barnett, defensive end of Tennessee. Number 9, I have the Cincinnati Bengals taking Jonathan Allen, defensive end of Alabama. And that's probably going to be the surprise pick of the draft, because Jonathan Allen's stock has kind of fallen down a little bit, because he seems to have, I believe it was arthritis in both of his shoulders. So that could impact his draft stock. Number 10, I have the Buffalo Bills taking Mike Williams, wide receiver out of Clemson. Number 11, I have the New Orleans Saints taking Reuben Foster, linebacker out of Alabama. Number 12, I have the Cleveland Browns taking Deshaun Watson, quarterback out of Clemson. Now this could also raise a huge question mark, because the Browns just traded for Brock Osweiler at the start of free agency. So do they take one of their first round picks on Deshaun Watson and force a quarterback battle? Because honestly, it wouldn't be really Cleveland Brown-esque to not draft a QB in the first round, because it's been seeming to happen year in and year out. However, I feel like the Browns need to at least consider drafting a quarterback at some point in the draft. I mean, right now you have Brock Osweiler, Cody Kessler battling for a quarterback spot, and then just add Deshaun Watson to the mix. I feel like the Browns shouldn't rely on Brock Osweiler. I feel like he's going to be unreliable, because we haven't seen him play one full season yet. So I feel like the Browns should just start fresh and just draft Deshaun Watson and see where it goes. Number 13, I have the Arizona Cardinals selecting Corey Davis, wide receiver out of Western Michigan. Number 14, I have the Philadelphia Eagles going with Tre'Davious White, cornerback out of LSU. Number 15, I have the Indianapolis Colts going with Ryan Ramczyk, offensive tackle out of Wisconsin. 16, I have the Baltimore Ravens going with John Ross, wide receiver out of Washington. Number 17, I have the Washington Redskins going with Jabrill Peppers, a linebacker out of Michigan. Number 18, I have the Tennessee Titans going with O.J. Howard, the tight end of Alabama. Number 19, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going with Zach Cunningham, linebacker out of Vanderbilt. Number 20, I have the Denver Broncos going with Cam Robinson, the offensive tackle of Alabama. because I just feel like it would make more sense because they don't really need a quarterback at this point. I mean, you just drafted Paxton Lynch last year. Basically, most of the teams that are considering quarterbacks, or at least in this draft that I haven't taken quarterbacks, don't necessarily need them, but they could be useful down the road. Like, let's backtrack a little bit to the New York Jets. They don't necessarily need Mitch Trubisky, but sure, they could probably use him because he could probably fit into an NFL system better than Christian Hackenberg might. Or Deshaun Watson can fit into the Browns system more than Brock Osweiler can. I just feel like Deshaun Watson has the leadership ability of an NFL quarterback. And I feel like Cam Robinson is probably a good option for Denver. Considering they don't really need a quarterback, they just got to find people to protect the quarterback. Number 21, I have the Detroit Lions with Caleb Brantley, defensive tackle out of Florida. Number 22, I have the Miami Dolphins going with Hasson Reddick, defensive lineman out of Temple. Now, this is a guy that has just really snuck into the first round. I mean, he could go all the way up to maybe the top 15. I mean, if you didn't see this guy at the Combine, you missed out. He's one of those hard workers that just grinds it in and day out. And at the Combine, his draft stock improved. I think originally for the season start, I believe he was about a third or fourth round pick at best. And now he has the potential of being in the first round. Honestly, I feel like we're probably seeing Noah Spence vibes out of him from last year. A small school. However, he was a hard worker, the grind in and day out. However, Noah Spence fell in the second round. But I feel like Hasson Reddick will be in the first round because I feel like the Dolphins are going to need somebody like him in their system. Considering that Cameron Wake is aging and Ndamukong Suh is kind of aging a little bit. Anyway, here is where this mock draft gets a little bit interesting. At number 23, I have the New York Giants selecting, if you've wondered why he's not off the board yet, he is now, Dalvin Cook, running back out of the Florida State University. I just feel like Dalvin Cook is kind of going to fall out a little bit because most of these teams don't necessarily need a running back. Let's look at the teams after Leonard Fournette. The Titans, they don't really need a running back. They have DeMarco Murray, Derrick Henry. And the New York Jets, they'll probably have Matt Forte for about another year or two, but they don't necessarily need him in the first round. The Los Angeles Chargers have Melvin Gordon. Panthers, according to one of the commenters in the mock draft 4.0, Dalvin Cook isn't even on the Panthers' radar. Cincinnati doesn't need a running back. Buffalo has LaShawn McCoy. The Saints have Mark Ingram. The Browns, they could use a running back, but I feel like it's too early for them to take a running back when there's other things that they need. However, it's a possibility they could maybe trade down later in the first round for that pick. Cardinals, they have David Johnson. The Eagles could use it, but there's other things that they need first. The Colts, they could use it, but there's still things that they need. Baltimore, possibly, they might see they can maybe resign one of the running backs they can sign one of the free agent running backs, like Jamal Charles or Adrian Peterson or Doug Martin. And number 24, interesting pick again. I have the Oakland Raiders going with Christian McCaffrey, running back out of Stanford. I feel like the Raiders are going to have to take a chance on this. Sure, there's a possibility that Marshon Lynch may come out of retirement and sign with the Raiders, but just in case he can't, I mean, even if Marshon Lynch does he really still have it in him to be a starting running back? Does he have that in him? And they've already lost Latavius Murray in free agency to the Vikings. And even if you sign Marshon Lynch or Adrian Peterson, or even both, are they really going to be your face of the franchise running backs? Probably not. So that's why they have to take this opportunity and draft a running back like Christian McCaffrey. Even if he doesn't work out, you at least attempted something that's better than what you probably would have originally been stuck with. Number 25, I have the Houston Texans with Pat Mahomes, quarterback out of Texas Tech. Now, the Houston Texans need a quarterback badly. They've probably gone through about 8 or 9 of them in the last 3 to 4 years. Brock Osweiler didn't cut it, even though they signed Brock Osweiler a $72 million deal last year. He's now with the Browns. Tom Savage is probably not going to be a face of the franchise quarterback. So start fresh with Pat Mahomes. Keep the Texas kid in Texas. I think this would be a great fit for him in the system. And plus, Houston needs a quarterback badly after Tony Romo announced his retirement earlier this week. And it looked like Houston was the leading suitor for Tony Romo, but he announced his, in a way, retirement to go to CBS Sports. Number 26 at the Seattle Seahawks going with Garrett Boyles, the offensive tackle out of Utah. Now, with the 3 offensive tackles that have gone in this first round, Ryan Ramczyk, Cam Robinson, and Garrett Boyles, those seem to be the only 3 offensive tackles in this draft class that are day 1 starters. And the Seahawks, sure, they need maybe some other things, but you just got to get an offensive lineman to protect Russell Wilson first. This would be the only chance that they can take a potential elite day 1 starter at an offensive tackle position this year. If not, they're going to have to wait until next year. So I feel like they just take this opportunity because it's the only chance that they have. Number 27 at the Kansas City Chiefs going with T.J. Watt, outside linebacker out of Wisconsin. He also played defensive end at Wisconsin. And the Chiefs need somebody that will replace now with the Atlanta Falcons, Dontari Poe. And T.J. Watt may not have the exact size as Poe, but I feel like he may fit into that system. I feel like he fits in there because the Chiefs they're one of those blue-collar defenses in the NFL. They can force turnovers, they can sack the QB. They're really great at forcing turnovers, and the Chiefs just need to keep building that monster empire on defense. I believe there's a stat that says half of the Chiefs' points in the last 3 seasons have been by the defense. So that's an interesting stat to keep an eye on. Number 28, I have the Dallas Cowboys going with Tarquise McKinley, defensive end outside linebacker of UCLA. I feel like we're going to see Jalen Smith vibes out of him, where the Cowboys end up taking him when he could have had the potential of going probably really high up in this draft. So the Cowboys get a steal at this point, but the question is he going to be able to play this season? Number 29, the Green Bay Packers going with Adoree Jackson, cornerback out of USC. He also was a kick returner, so maybe the Packers can use him as an elite corner in the future, or with good special teams. I know Micah Hyde's usually in the special teams, and maybe they could upgrade Adoree Jackson. For 30, I have the Steelers dealing with Darian Conley, cornerback out of The Ohio State University. I just feel like it just makes sense for the AFC North teams to draft a corner with their first round pick or their second round pick because of all the different wide receivers to cover in that division. A.J. Green, Corey Coleman, maybe Josh Gordon if he re-signs with Cleveland after he gets reinstated. So it just makes a lot of sense for AFC North teams to draft a cornerback. Number 31 of the Atlanta Falcons with Charles Harris, defensive end of Missouri. I feel like he'd be an upgrade of what they got out of Dontari Poe. But maybe I feel like Charles Harris may not be the necessarily day 1 starter. But he could at least see the field very often. Number 32, I had the New Orleans Saints now taking Quincy Wilson, cornerback out of Florida. Kind of like with the Steelers situation, it makes sense for NFC South teams to draft a cornerback. I mean, there was some word that the Saints were trying to trade for Malcolm Butler, but in case they can't make that happen, drafting a corner with this pick that they traded Brandon Cooks to, I think it would help a lot. Anyway, so that is my mock draft 5.0. I'm starting the NBA mock drafts too, In fact, I have my NBA mock draft right here. But that is another video for another day. Anyway, I will see you next time. Have a great day, everybody. I will see you next time.